All right, let's jump right in. We are going to tackle one of the biggest, most common misunderstandings in AI today. Seriously, getting this one thing wrong is the source of pretty much all the frustration and, frankly, the risk when you try to use these tools in a professional setting. So this explainer, it's all about one thing: installing the one mental model you absolutely need to get this right. And it all boils down to this: a model is not a system. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You get a response from an AI that is just brilliant, and then the very next one is complete nonsense. It leaves you scratching your head, wondering, what is going on? Is this thing smart? Is it dumb? Is it actually reasoning? And look, it's a totally natural question to ask, but it's also where we take our first wrong turn. Because that question, it's already wrong. The whole premise is flawed because it's based on a misunderstanding of what you're actually talking to. If we want to get results that are reliable, predictable, and, most importantly, safe, we have to start asking the right questions. And to do that, we first need to fix our foundational understanding. And here it is. This is the big correction. The single most important distinction you need to burn into your brain is the one between the model and the system. They're not the same thing, not even close. And confusing the two, that's the root cause of all the trouble. This isn't just about using the right words. It's the key to absolutely everything. So what's the difference, really? Okay, think of it like this. The model, that's the engine. It's raw, it's powerful, but it's just one, very specific component. The system, on the other hand, is the entire car that's built around that engine. It's the chassis, the steering wheel, the brakes, the dashboard. What you, the driver, are interacting with is the whole car, the system, not just the raw engine block. Let's get super clear about what that engine, the model, actually is. At its core, it's a probabilistic token generator. I know, that sounds technical, but all it means is that it's a machine for guessing the next word. It looks at a bunch of text and then mathematically predicts the most likely next piece of text, or token. The most crucial thing to get here is what it isn't. There's no memory, there's no intent, there's zero genuine understanding. It's just pattern matching on an absolutely massive scale. Okay, now this is where the magic really happens. See all this stuff? Everything you experience when you use an AI, its helpfulness, its personality, the way it refuses to answer certain questions, that all comes from these carefully engineered layers of the system. It's things like the specific instructions it's been given behind the scenes, the extra documents it's allowed to look at, and even the design of the user interface you're typing into. All of that shapes the final output you see. So here's the bottom line. The model is just one piece of the puzzle. It's just one layer in a whole stack of technology. The reason you get wildly different results from different AI products, even if they're using the exact same underlying model, it's because their systems are designed differently. The variation you see comes from the engineering built around the model, not because the model is having a good day or a bad day. So you might be thinking, okay, I get it, but why is this distinction so important? Well, it becomes absolutely critical, non-negotiable, the second we start talking about professional work, regulated industries, or anything that involves real authority. This is the point where a fuzzy mental model can become genuinely dangerous. And this visual right here, it perfectly illustrates the only safe way to operate in a professional environment. The AI system is purely assistive. It can give you an analysis, maybe draft a response, make a recommendation. But you see how it exists in its own separate box? It's logically walled off from the operational systems that actually do things. To cross that boundary, to turn that suggestion into an action, requires a human being to step in, make a decision, and consciously turn the key. There is no automation allowed across that line. Period. This brings us to a really important idea about the kind of mental models we use. When you're first learning about something, simple analogies are great. They're like scaffolding you put up around a building during construction. But you don't leave the scaffolding on the finished skyscraper, right? For professional operations, you need the actual formal blueprints. We have to be really deliberate about separating these two ways of thinking. Those intuitive mental models are fantastic for getting started, but they're temporary. They're learning tools for any kind of professional work. Anything that involves risk, accountability, or real-world consequences, you have to upgrade to formal system models. This means you have to drop the simple analogies and operate based on the precise, documented architecture of the system. And just to be crystal clear, this isn't a friendly suggestion. In professional high-stakes settings, it's a hard and fast rule. In any of these situations, like a formal audit, a corrective action plan, or any decision that carries real authority,
Using a vague, intuitive mental model is explicitly prohibited. And why is that? It's simple. Analogies aren't evidence. Intuition can't be governed or controlled. You cannot audit a hunch.
Which brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. It's a fundamental shift in your perspective. Stop thinking of yourself as a user arguing with some mysterious, unpredictable black box. That's a position with no power. Instead, you need to see yourself as the designer and the governor of a system. When you get an output you don't like, the question isn't, is the model smart or dumb? The question is, which part of my system needs to be adjusted? That shift in thinking, from arguing with a model to governing a system, is the key to getting reliable, predictable, and safe results every single time.